Whatever income generated, on that the tax will be imposed. Even though the artificial also we call it as person, non-living things also we call it as person. The person one who is eligible to pay tax, we call it as assessee. Financial year and previous year both are same. Assessment year is at present when we calculate our tax. Hello everyone, I am your ALsir, lecturer in Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. So we are in the session 1 of your topic called Income Tax 1. Now, in the previous session, we discussed about what do you mean by income tax. It was introductory class. So I briefly explained you about income tax. Along with that, I explained you the topics which covered in your syllabus. Along with that, we also discussed the marks allocation, your question paper pattern and everything. This is the first day of your income tax subject. Now, so we will not take much time. The sessions will be brief, but the contents will be more. Less time, but you will understand more concepts. Now, before I start my session, the one request is please go through all the sessions. So if there are 30 to 40 sessions are there, please don't miss even one session also. Now, if you missed out due to some function or some emergency, so it will be there in the YouTube. So go back, watch that video, then only you come for next video because each classes are interlinked with next one. So if you want to understand the session 2, you should understand session 1. Similarly, each sessions are interlinked with each other. That is a major objective or major thing in income tax. Other topics, if you missed out, you can start with the new topic. But income tax, everything is interlinked. Basic, like in this topic, we will understand what is assessment year, who is person, who is assessee. Now, in the next session, I'll go with the problems. In that, if I say assessment year, again you will scratch your head. So, what is assessment year? If I say the person and assessee, again you will be biased that, so who is person, who is assessee? That's why in this session, you will understand the basic terminology, what we use in your taxation. In the later stage, the same terminologies we use in every problems, in every questions. Then you should not be biased that, so what is this? If you go through this session, you will be familiar with those topics. Now, so what is the agenda for today's session? Now, you will understand introduction to income tax. Already I gave you income tax introduction. When it was implemented, 1961 it was started, but implementation took place on 1962. What is your Income Tax Act? 1961. When income tax started in which country? It is started in US. When it was started? 1913. These are the basic fundas. Don't worry. You will not get these things in your examination. You will get these things, but that when it was started, those things will not come. Now, so introduction part almost I covered in your introduction class itself. I'll give you again brief idea about your income tax. Now, we will understand what do you mean by person under income tax. Then, who is assessee? Assessee means what? Maybe it is a new word for you. So, you will understand who is called as assessee. Assessment year and previous year. So, every time when we talk about income tax, we call assessment year previous year. So, what is your income for previous year? So, when you are filing tax for your assessment year, each and every time when we talk about income tax, the first word come to our mouth is assessment year, previous year. We will understand what is assessment year and we will understand what is previous year. Next, exempted incomes. In income tax, whatever income you earn, everything is not taxable. Again, I'll repeat, whatever income earned from you, everything is not taxable. There are few items are there which are exempted. There are few items are there, they are partly exempted. So, we will discuss about those things in exempted incomes. Next, the last but not the least, that is your agricultural income. Everybody says that agricultural income is exempted. If you are doing agriculture, if you are agriculturist, you are not supposed to pay tax. The answer is yes or no. You will understand once I take up the agricultural income concept. You will get clear idea whether agricultural income is taxable or exempted. Now, the first thing, introduction to income tax. You know about income tax, you know when it is coined, framed, everything, why the assessment year or financial year from 1st April to 31st March, everything already you know. Now, in this, income tax is a type of tax that government impose on income. Whatever income generated, on that the tax will be imposed. Now, by business and individuals within their jurisdiction. What is the within this their jurisdiction? Very simple. Your income is more, the tax will be higher. Your income is less, your tax will be less. If your income is less than 2,50,000, then you are not supposed to pay tax only. Now, income tax is used to fund public services, pay government. Whatever the public is spending, like every day the corporation office members, they will come and take your garbage. And everywhere you have street lights. Everywhere you have tar road. If there is a river, a small this thing, you have a bridge. So these things are maintained by whom? Yeah, these things are maintained by government. How they are maintaining? With the help of your income, your contribution. If you earned 100 rupees, give 10 rupees to government. If you earned 1,000, give 100 rupees to government. There are certain slabs and procedures are there. You should follow that. According to that, you have to contribute to the government. Government in return, they will also help you. Clear? Yes. Now, obligations and provide goods for citizens. Now, there are many colleges and schools are there, like government colleges, government schools. There are many hospitals are there, like government hospitals. How they are running? In the government school, they will not collect even 1 rupee from the child or student. In return, along with that free education, they are also providing food also. They are also providing bicycles to the students. How they are providing all this? By the government? The answer is yes. But the sources of income to government is we. As a citizen, we give some contribution. Out of that contribution, they are running all these shows. Now, if flood happened, or else if anything happened, like your lockdown, during the lockdown, few people, they got their rations. And during the floods, government will give some contribution, like it will be compensation. If anything happened by flight crashed, the government will give 50 lakhs or 1 lakh as contribution or compensation. How they will give all this? Yes, with the help of whatever contribution or tax paid by us. That amount will be utilized for these things. Hope you understood. Now, the next thing we call it as person. So I'll tell you briefly why, because hardly you will get 5-mark question. In 5 marks, they will not ask you only person. Along with that, they will ask you 2 or 3. What do you mean by person, assessment year, previous year for 5 marks? What do you mean by person as and assessee for 5 marks? So individually they will not ask you for 5 marks. Along with this you have subheading question 1, question 2. Together you will get 5 marks. So hardly you may expect 2.5 marks for each. Now, person means what? Very simple. I am called as person. You are called as person. For example, Vidhyaashram College. For income tax purpose, Vidhyaashram College also called as person. Infosys is called as person. Wipro is called as person. L&T is called as person. JK Tires is called as person. MRF Tires is called as person. So, person, it is not only the living thing, even though the artificial also we call it as person. Non-living things also we call it as person. Any companies, we call it as person for income tax purpose. Hope you are clear. What do you mean by person? Now, person includes HUF, Hindu Undivided Family. There are 100 members in a family. One person who is the head of the family, we call it as Karta. So, the all put together, the family, we call it as one person. Now, a company, as I told you, Vidhyaashram is a person. Wipro, Infosys, we call it as a person. Now, association of persons are body of individuals. Now, our local authority or artificial judicial person shall be deemed to be a person whether or not. Such person are formed or established, incorporated with the object of deriving profit or gains. Now, so I am earning salary. So for me that is a profit. I am a person. Infosys earning profit, person. Vidhyaashram giving services and receiving income. So Vidhyaashram is a person. So everybody who is into business or who is into work and earning something, we call it as person. Clear? Yes. So these are called as person. Hope you are clear. Assessee, the major thing. Now, what is the difference between person as well as assessee? Now, I am the person. I am called as person. You are clear with the concept called person. I am called as person. Now, my income is 2 lakh. What is my income? 2 lakh. It is not per month I am telling. It is per 12 months. Complete 1 year. I am getting hardly some 18,000 salary. Example. So what is my salary? 18,000. So don't think that it is my salary. It may be less or more, but I am giving you example. What is my salary? 18,000. What is my salary per annum? 1 year. 18,000 into 12. My salary will be around 2 lakh per annum. Now, exactly it is not 2 lakh, it will come 2 lakh plus. Now, assume that my salary is 2 lakh. Now, in the beginning I told you, up to what amount you are not supposed to pay tax? Up to 2 lakh 50, you are not supposed to pay tax. What is my income? 2 lakh. Should I pay tax or not? Yes, the answer is no. I am not supposed to pay tax. My income is very less. Clear? Yes. Now, my income is very less. I am not supposed to pay any tax. Now, I will be called as person. I am not assessee. Clear? The difference is very simple. Am I paying tax? Answer is no. So you are not an assessee. You are only what? You are person. You are not called as assessee because you are not paying tax. Now, my income is, per month my salary is 30,000. So my income is how much? It will be 3,60,000. 3,60,000. So, am I supposed to pay tax? The answer is yes. Why? Because your salary is more than 2,50,000. You comes under taxable person. Now, you have two options, person and assessee. Are you a person? Answer is yes. Why? Because I am earning. Are you an assessee? Answer is yes. Why? Because you are paying tax. The person supposed to pay tax is called as assessee. Clear? Yes. The person who files his tax return called as assessee. The person who is paying tax called as assessee. Clear? So there is a only difference between person as well as assessee. Everybody who is working can called as person, but everybody can't become assessee. The person, one who is eligible to pay tax, we call it as assessee. Now, assessee means a person by whom income tax or any other sum of money payable under this Act. What is the Act? Income Tax Act 1961. Now, it includes every person in respect of whom any proceedings under this Act has been taken for the assessment of his income. Any calculation we have done to pay tax, he will come under assessee. Now, of the loss sustained by him of the amount of the refund due to him. For example, he already paid excess tax to the government. Government itself will repay, that is nothing but a refund. In that case also he will become assessee. Clear? Yes. The person who is eligible to pay tax are called as assessee. Hope you are clear with person as well as assessee. Now, assessment year. So here itself I'll explain you what is assessment year, what is previous year. Now, so we are paying tax for what we earned in the last year. Again, I'll repeat, we are paying tax now what we earned in the previous year. Example, 1st April 2019 to 31st March 2020. So, it is already done. 31st March is done. Whatever I earned in 2019 to 2020, income tax office, our income tax department will give you one complete year to calculate and pay tax. Now, when I have to pay tax, from when your year ends, 1st April 2020, the next day, to 31st March 2021. So, when your year ends, 31st March 2020, from next day, you will get one complete year. You should sit and calculate what was my income for last year. So, April I got 10,000, February 20, March 30, April some 50,000, June some amount. And again after December due to lockdown, my income is only 5,000, 3,000. Add everything. You have 1 year time. Sit and work out and pay tax in the next year. Clear? Yes. Now, whatever income you earned, that we call it as previous year. Clear? Whatever income you earned, that is called as previous year. When you are calculating tax now, that is called assessment year. Hope you are clear. So always remember this. If you are a commerce student or tax student, the first question will be asked you, what is previous year? What is assessment year? For the right now, the previous year is 19 and 20. The assessment year is 20 and 21 because you're paying tax for your last year income. Last year when it is ended 31st March. From next day itself, you should sit and calculate your income. They will give you 1 year. Within 1 year, you should calculate and pay off your tax. Next year, again, this will become previous year. Again, 21 and 22 will become assessment year. Clear? Yes. This is your previous year. This is your assessment year. And one more name we have for previous year. What is that? Remember, financial year. Financial year and previous year both are same. Assessment year is at present. When we calculate our tax, that is called assessment year. Any doubt? Hope there is no doubt. This is your previous year. This is your assessment year. Now, it is termed, you will often hear in relation of filing tax. It is a financial year. As I told you, there is no difference between financial and previous. Both are one and the same. The previous year in which you will assess and file your return for the previous year. So, assessment year is 2021 and previous year is 19 and 20. For your every calculation, every problem for this year, you should mention 1920 as a previous year, 2021 as assessment year. Next, previous year already I explained you. Recall that in that I explained you previous year as well as assessment year. Exempted income. This is very important. Why? Because in your examination, you may get 10-mark question. What do you mean by exempted income? And mention any 10 exempted incomes. So, very simple. The definition is not required, just 1 or 2 lines, but you have to list out all 10 exempted items. Now, any income earned which is not subject to income tax is called as exempted income. If anything tax is not payable, we call it as exempted incomes. Now, as per section 10, remember exempted items comes under what? Section 10. Now, Income Tax Act 1961. Now, there are certain types of income which will be subject to income tax within a financial year, provided they meet certain guidelines and conditions. Few exemptions are there which are not completely exempted. Some part is exempted. Rest of the things are taxable. Don't go in depth. As I told you, they will not even ask you what is exempted income. They will ask you only mention any 10 exempted items under section 10. Just you have to list out 10 exempted items. So these are the exempted items you have to write down. Now, leave travel allowance, agricultural income, life insurance, gratuity, leave encashment, commuted pension, compensation under VRS, provident fund, education and hostel allowance, transport allowances. So this is not 100% exempted, remember. So everything we have some rules and regulations we have to follow. For example, your education and hostel, we have 100 rupees per child and 300 rupees per child, hostel as well as education. So these are the exemptions we have. Don't go in depth, just remember these 10 points. Easy to remember, like agriculture you can easily remember, insurance you can remember, education easy, transportation is easy. Again you have 2 things, leave encashment, leave travel. Almost 6 to 7 are done. Similarly you have to remember any 10. Please take screenshot. It is very important for 10 marks. So if you go back and check a last 10 years question paper, out of 10 question paper, you can find 6 to 7 question paper with this question. So please take screenshot. We'll go for the next one. Agricultural income. Again, as I told you, it is your 10-mark question. You have to mention what do you mean by agricultural income. Along with that, you should write which are the things comes under agricultural income. Now, agricultural income refers to income earned or revenue derived from sources that are like what kind of in this, including farming land, building on identified with agricultural land, commercial producers from a agricultural land, horticulture. Agricultural income is defined under section 2 subsection. So if we have one more bracket, we call it as subsection 1A of the Income Tax Act 1961. Don't worry about definition. We'll go for which are the items comes under agricultural. Now, income derived from sale of replanted trees. So, whatever the trees you cut and serve others, the income derived from sale of replanted trees, we call it as, like you have nursery shops. So whatever replanted things are there, so that is comes under agricultural income. Now, income from sale of seeds, agricultural income. Rent received from agricultural land, agricultural income. Income from growing, flowering and creepers, agriculture. Profit received from partner from a firm engaged in agriculture, that is also agricultural income. Interest on capital that partners from firm engaged in agricultural operation. These things, any 5 points you should remember, comes under income from agriculture. Hardly you may get 5-mark question. So what do you mean by agricultural income? List out any 5 items which comes under agricultural income. There is no problems on agricultural income. Just you need to remember any 5 points. Please take screenshot. I'll go out of the screen. So, this is all about your today's session. The major thing you should remember, whom do you call it as person? What is assessee? Assessment year, previous year. What is exempted items or exempted income? Along with this, we should also learn what do you mean by agricultural income. These are the major things. These are the fundamental things in income tax. If you're done with these things, later we'll go with the problems as well as residential status. Thank you.